first move, Seducer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and back. The first move, Seducer, starts with the man's left hand to the lady's right. We begin nice and close. We draw a semicircle to the left and we both take a step away. Now from here, as the man steps forward, he brings his left hand up to his left shoulder. He extends his right arm in front of the lady and places it on the lady's hip. So from a different angle, we look like this side by side. We now pull round with this right hand, push down with our left as the lady pivots on her left foot, taking her right foot behind the left. Now we're going to lead the lady into the Seducer. So as we pull back with our left hand, we take that lady's right arm around our shoulders, we let go of our left hand and places it between the lady's shoulder blade, still keeping the right hand on the lady's hip. As the man now steps onto his left foot, he now bends the knees, lowering the ladies down into the Seducer. The ladies are still taking majority of their own weight. We now bring the ladies back up, and to send the ladies into a spin, we guide the lady forward with the left hand that's on her back. We pull with the right hand that's on her hip, sending her into a spin to your side. When we've caught the ladies, we then step forward, raising that left hand to return the ladies anti-clockwise. We then step back, lowering the hands left to right. The comb lean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back. The comb lean starts with the man's right to the lady's right, and we begin nice and close. You draw a semicircle to the right, and we both step away from each other. From here, as you step forward, the man raises his right hand, returning the ladies anti-clockwise all the way around. And when we face each other, you dip the hand in front of the face, you take the hand over the head, and as you take the hand over the head, the man turns a quarter turn to his right, letting go of this right hand as soon as it's dropped onto the right shoulder. The left hand has gone behind the lady's back and around her waist. Now from here, the men are going to lunge to his right, and as he lunges to the right, he bends his right leg and he creates a shelf for the lady to lie across down his left-hand side. So from there, not holding on with this right hand, the man lunges to the right, pulls the lady to his side as she leans down his left-hand side. We now bring the ladies back up, and then we just take a step away from each other as the lady slides her hand down the man's arm into his left hand. We finish now with a return, stepping in, raising the left hand over the lady's head, and when we finish, we lower the hand and take a step back. The Armjive Swizzle Dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. The Armjive Swizzle Dip. So you can see it at an easier angle, we're going to do it from this side. Starts with the man's left hand to the lady's right, beginning nice and close. We draw a semicircle to the left, and as the man steps back, he offers his right hand to the lady. From here, we step forward, pulling back with our left elbow, keeping the hands nice and close to the body and not past the hips. We now twist our upper body, pulling back with the right elbow, and then from here, we twist again, bringing the left hand up to the left shoulder. Now, keeping hold with both hands, the man raises that left hand, keeping hold of the right hand, turning the ladies all the way around until she faces him. Now, from here, it is important that the man doesn't pull up with that right hand up to the lady's back. Now, we do need to pull down to aid the spin. So from there, we raise that left hand, pull down with the right to turn the ladies once, turn the ladies a second time, and on the second spin, the man lets go of his right hand. He slides his hand across the lady's back just to keep her close to him, and the left hand now is thrown across his shoulders. He can now let go of his left hand, placing it in between the lady's shoulder blades, still keeping hold of the lady with the right hand that should be now on her waist. The man now lunges to his left, lowering the ladies down into a dip. As we bring the ladies back out of the dip, we can now pull with the right hand that's still on the lady's hip, sending her into a spin in front of the man. We now finish with the return, raising the hand over the lady's head, and when we face each other, we lower the hand and step back. The lasso dip, which we're going to do on the end of a figure of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, and back. The lasso dip can be done off of many of the moves that we do, which involves a right-handed return. In this case, we're going to use the figure of 8. So we begin nice and close with the man's right hand to the lady's right. We draw a semicircle to the right and we both take a step away. Now from here, as you both step forward, the man raises that right hand and he turns to his left. Now the ladies are just taking a step forward at this stage, and the man continues to turn to his left until he faces the same direction as the lady. He takes the right hand over his head, dips it in front of his face, and then turns the lady a direction, lowering the hand after the turn. Now it's at this point we can do the lasso. From here, the return starts by raising that right hand over the lady's head. As the lady comes round from the return, we then pull down with the right hand, and then we flick that right hand, letting go of that right hand, and then we can slide our hand across the lady's back, keeping her close to the man. As the lady continues to spin on the spot, her right arm then goes around the man's shoulders, and he can use his left hand to be placed between the lady's shoulder blades. He then lunges to his left, taking the ladies down into a basic dip. Bringing the ladies back up, he can pull with his right hand, sending the ladies into a spin in front of him, catching with the left hand. Finishing off with a return, he raises that hand over the lady's head, and then when we face each other, we just lower the hand and step back. The comb dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back. The comb dip. So you can see it a little easier, we're going to do it from this side. Starts with the man's right hand to the lady's right, and we begin nice and close. We draw a semicircle to the right, and we both take a step away. Now from here, the man steps forward, raising his right hand, turning the ladies on the spot. When we face each other, we dip the hand in front of the face. We take the right hand over the head, and as we take the hand over the head, the man takes his left hand and he places it just between the lady's shoulder blades. From here, the right hand goes to the lady's waist, and he twists to the side, so the ladies are now more or less 90 degrees to him. He's now going to lunge onto his left foot as he lowers the ladies down into a dip. We now bring the ladies back up, pulling with the right hand that's on her hip, sending the ladies into a spin in front of him as we catch with either hand. We finish the move with a return, raising the hand over the lady's head, and when we face each other, you just lower the hand and step back. The Wurlitzer Hook Dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and back. The Wurlitzer Hook Dip starts with the man's left hand to the lady's right, and we begin nice and close. You draw a semicircle to the left, and as the man steps back, he offers his right hand to the lady. Now from here, as the man steps forward, he draws the lady in, and he takes his left hand up to the left shoulder, and he flattens that left hand. So we're palm to palm by his left shoulder, but we still keep hold of our right hand at waist level. From there, we push down with the left hand to turn the ladies out a quarter turn. We also step away from the ladies at this point. We keep hold of the right hand at waist level. From there, we pull down with the right hand, and then we raise it over the lady's head as we step in. The man turns his back to the lady as he changes hand from his right into his left. We now sweep the left hand over the lady's head as she spins underneath the man's left hand all the way around to face the man. And at this stage, the men need to give a little bit of distance there so the ladies doesn't take their right hand across the man's middle. They need to take their arm underneath the man's right shoulder. From here, the man places his hand on the lady's hip. We now take a step to the side as we lunge into the dip, leading the ladies into it as we go down. From here, we bring the ladies back up. Pulling with the right hand, we send the ladies into a spin underneath the left hand, catching with the right. To finish, we'll return the ladies as we take both hands over the head. We step back, crossed hands. The side-to-side dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, and back. The side-to-side dip. We begin nice and close with the man's left hand to the lady's right. We draw a semicircle to the left and we both take a step away. Now from here we both step in side to side, shoulders to shoulders, keeping the left forearm down at waist level. You now push down with that left hand to turn to face the ladies. At this point we're now going to change sides by throwing that left hand in front of yourself as you both step forward, changing side, catching with the man's right hand to the lady's left. Now from here you're going to pull on this right hand. As the lady starts wrapping in, she takes her right hand over her left and she continues to spin on the spot. The man lets go of his right hand but still keeps it on the lady's waist and slides his hand across the small of the lady's back. As the lady comes out of the spin, she throws her right arm across the man's shoulders. The man can use his left hand, places it between the lady's shoulder blades for extra support. The man's now going to step to the left as he lunges down, leading the ladies into the dip. From here, he brings the lady back up, pulls with his right hand, sending the lady into a spin in front of him, catching with either hand. To finish now, we're going to raise the hand to return the ladies all the way around, and when we face each other, we just lower the hand and step back. The sway overhead squat dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back. The sway overhead squat dip. So that you can see it from a better angle, we're going to do this move square on. So it's the man's right hand to the lady's right. You start by drawing a semicircle to the right and you step away. From here you pull across with your right hand, turning the ladies in as we both step in, and then we're side by side in a sway position. The man can offer his left palm facing up, lady's left palm facing down, and our right hand is on the lady's hip. Be careful not to pull that right arm up behind the lady's back. You also need it under the lady's arm as opposed to over the top. So from our sway position, we just gently rock the lady's back as she steps back onto her right foot. We're now going to sway the ladies forward. From here, we're going to raise this left hand, turn the ladies on the spot, and as we turn the ladies, it's important the ladies do turn on the spot as opposed to wandering forward, so she stays on the man's right-hand side at all times. You now take this left hand over your head and you drop it onto your left shoulder at the same time as raising your right hand in front of the lady's face, dropping your right hand on the lady's right shoulder. The man can now let go of his left hand. Keep your right hand where it is as you just guide the lady back onto her right foot. Now, keeping the right arm at shoulder height, you lead the lady forward and you start putting pressure on your right hand, so you'll start turning your lady underneath your right arm, elbow pointing to the ceiling to make it easier for the ladies to spin. As the lady continues to spin, you keep contact with the lady's back as your right hand now slides down her back to her hip. The ladies continue to spin on the spot and then throws her right arm around the man's shoulder. You can now use the left hand to be placed between the lady's shoulder blades, again still keeping the right hand on the lady's hip. Now with this move, we're going to do a squat dip as opposed to a seducer dip. So instead of the ladies going backwards, you want to push down so the ladies bends her right leg, bending the left knee up so we're just sitting into the move. We're now going to bring the ladies back up, pull back with the right hand to send the ladies into a spin, catching with either hand. Step in, raising the hand over the lady's head to return her. When we finish, we just lower the hand and step back.